Welcome to Spiritual Guidance and Readings with your host, Trevor from Haunting Live Podcast and Psychic Medium Chris. Get your questions in, and don't forget any Podbean you can call in absolutely free. We encourage you to take part and let your friends know.
And yes, welcome everybody to our pod show on Podbean, and we are streaming also live on our YouTube channel right now under Divine Oracle Podcast for tonight's podcast show. And welcome, host of Divine Oracle Podcast, Chris. How are you?
Doing quite fine. I know we had a busy day together, you and I, but how are you doing so far after what took place today?
Doing great. We just had an appointment today. Other than that, it was a pretty nice, quiet Saturday. Hope you all are having a great weekend so far, and thank you for joining us here under our Podbean and our YouTube channel for our podcast show. We are Haunting Live Podcast and Divine Oracle Podcast. We run two shows here on this channel, and we do live card readings for you live on the air here today.
Yeah, so not only cards, we're also going to be talking about our leave of absence of Southern Ontario. We're going to talk sort of about what we did, right where we had to go, and why we had to go. And it's going to be really touching, especially why we had to go. But the thing, though, is things like this happen within lives.
Mhm.
We do wish everybody a happy new year for 2026. And again, those we are live nowadays going to be on Saturday nights here. I do actually Oracle and also tarot card readings. So I do encourage you guys actually to take part. Call in underneath Podbean and underneath basically our other streams, which is going to be to do with Divine or even haunting underneath YouTube, and also we're actually on going to be going to be temporary for a month, I think it is. We're going to be actually on underneath Divine's actually Facebook page. So yes,
Yeah, so as you guys noticed, there has been a slight absence since Christmas and the holidays. Around that time, we lost our Facebook page under Haunting Live. We are working to get that back. We got most of it back, but we're not fully able to get back on there to do our live stream show. So we're basically sharing a space here under Divine Oracle Podcast for a while for Haunting. So bear with us on that. But we will be back soon under Haunting Live for our live podcast show there as well.
yeah. So basically, I'll sort of let you know. Christmas Eve, Trevor and I we were relaxing, and then all of a sudden, Trevor got a notification. Somebody tried to hack into his account for a lot of things, and we did call the bank directly. The bank informed us exactly what the hack was about. Christmas time, though, is the worst time actually for hackers.
It's a very vulnerable time for people, yes. So
Yeah. So again, those watch your stuff, and that's one thing though. If you get a notification, do not think it as a joke or anything like that. Take it serious.
it's a very serious thing because I basically lost all access to our Haunting Live access, and we could not use any of our platforms or anything, and they actually accessed private data as well. So they could have literally did what they do when they take over things and take over your whole life. So you've got uncertainty, you've got insecurity, you're unsure what they have access to. Meanwhile, you can't get into your account to secure it, so it's a lot of stress, and all at Christmas time when all you want to do is relax, so and be with family. So right now, it was a very stressful time over this past Christmas for us here, but I think we got things settled out now with the accounts under social media, which is our Facebook account, and under our other pages as well, and under our personal information as well. I think is secured now. So, but it
Now,
is a warning to people to keep your passwords updated constantly. I would recommend doing them multiple times a year, not just once a year. and make sure your even your basic sites that you use every day, like Facebook, is secure. So,
Yeah. Now, don't worry, our website that's just posted below is still active.
yes,
You can find most of our shows actually underneath there. If you go underneath show listings, you got Trevor's shows. You also have Divine Oracle here. And also to use a lot more stuff that's coming up throughout 2026. I've
yeah,
got two Venice shows already booked for February and March. And I'll let you know for February, I will be in Cambridge, Ontario, close to the 401 if you live in Ontario. It's at Jacob Hespler on Holiday Drive. I will be there in person with my co-host Gillian. We will be there directly selling actually merchandise. Then in comes actually March. I will be at my former elementary school for grade 7 and 8, and Gillian's also former elementary school, which is Sunnyside, and that's in Kitchener on Weaver Street. So again, check those out underneath our website. Again, those our website is posted below.
yes, it's right
We
there
want you guys
below.
to actually check.
You guys can go there for all of our contact information, all of our posted episodes for both shows under Haunting Live and Divine Oracle Podcast. You can find all of our shows, play them right there on the website. You don't need any special apps or anything. They're all free access. And if you want to download our free podcast app that we use, that is called Podbean. And if you're listening on Podbean tonight, welcome everybody, and thank you for joining us here on the show. If you want to join our show, we will be opening up the lines on Podbean as well tonight, where you can actually call in and be a featured guest on our show and ask your questions live on the air with us.
Yeah.
So,
All right. So that happened Christmas time. Now, shortly after Christmas, we got word actually from our family up in Northern Ontario. Trevor lost his aunt. His aunt also had dementia, so like my parents. She passed away pretty much with that and some other stuff. So we had to do a major rush to fly from Toronto Island, Billy Bishop Airport, which is part of Trevor's family's history. We flew actually from there all the way up to Sault Ste. Marie. We took the train down New Year's Day, suspecting to take off. We went through a major lineup. There was only one ticket agent actually on site. Anyways, she held information from us for a little bit. Then also she said that she was going to send a text to us, and I was like, "Yeah, right. This happened to us in BC last year, right when we went out." And then by the time we left the counter, there was a text message actually from Porter Airlines indicating that our air flight was delayed. We were like, "How can it be delayed? It's a gorgeous day here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada." But we didn't think about Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario did have a really bad storm, and the runway was pure ice.
yeah.
So we were trying to figure out what to do. Instead of taking the GO train back here, I called the hotel that we originally had planned for on the 3rd to see if they actually had accommodation. They did. Thank you very much to Courtyard Marriott, downtown Toronto. Best location, actually, what we would say though is we recommend them to you to check out. That's Courtyard Marriott, downtown Toronto on Yonge Street, close
Yes.
to all amenities and great location.
Fabulous hotel. We love staying there. We've stayed there every year now in a row for 3 years, I think, for the last 3 years. And we usually go away after Christmas for our getaway in January. And we were planning on it this year, but plans got thwarted and we had to rush, like Chris said, and go for a funeral slash celebration of life service and get up to Sault Ste. Marie for that weekend. So,
Yeah. Yeah, we did fly out the very next day later. That's what the text said, and we want to make sure everything was officially going through. So we kept that actually up to date with their app and underneath their website. So yeah, we flew out. Now the thing though is Trevor has a cousin that lives in the same community though that we live in Ontario here, Canada. She was flying out. She flew out an hour before us, but some tragic actually happened to her. It's not dramatic, tragic, but some of the tragic actually happened. I don't know if Trevor wants to say what happened or.
Yeah, well, due to the weather in the Sioux area on that day, the airport had a hard time, obviously, allowing flights to arrive or even leave. Apparently, in the Sioux area, they were shut down for almost 6 days or more, and they weren't allowing any flights to go out, except for I think one flight made it out in that whole time. And we were, I think, very lucky to be on board one of the flights that actually made it into the airport as well. So we were able to make it in behind their flight. But what happened to their flight was when they were trying to land, they had to abort landing and go back into the air and circle around until the airport had enough time to actually clear the runway and allow them to land because it was basically blizzard conditions. You could not see, it was blowing snow, they couldn't see the runway, and it was unsafe to land. So they circled. Thankfully, they didn't have to turn around and go back to Toronto, but they were able to land their plane after they cleared the runway, and our flight was scheduled right behind, and we were our pilot actually announced to us in the cabin that the runway was clear enough for us to land, and we landed in behind their flight. So I think we were the only two flights that got in that day. So
Pretty much the only two, yeah. Yeah, no, that's with Porter Airlines. Porter Airlines is a great company actually to travel with. Two
overall,
seats on
yes.
two seats actually on each side of the plane. It's pretty much like first class, but the only thing though that's different though is you're on a smaller plane, but you also get free accommodation of drink,
Mm-hmm.
and that's within the glass, not with a paper cup or a plastic cup. So you get a drink, and that could be a coffee, tea, beer, pop, wine, and also though what they also do offer a porter though while you're flying with them is a snack. And that's all complimentary actually from Porter Airline. And the prices, yeah, were quite high because we did a short booking.
Yeah.
We always travel with Porter. Porter might be going actually on strike, but again, those book with Porter if Porter does come into your area.
Yeah, that's the other thing we noticed before we left for our flight that we did hear Porter is possibly going on strike by the end of January here this year. So we were actually probably lucky that we did make our flight back on time as well. So,
Yeah. No, right when we landed, sort of like what Trevor was saying, those we landed with no problem. Major snow, there is no ramps at all.
mm,
You walk off the plane and you walk into the building. It's a very small airport. And yeah, we actually had a family member waiting for us. We got in the vehicle. We were driving actually into the city of Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. The snowbanks work very high. They some areas though that they were actually approximately 6 feet tall of the snowbanks, and some of the roads were not clear in the right way.
I'd say even taller than that. I think they were higher than almost the double size of a normal adult. So they were probably 10 foot or more.
So. But yeah, we got to the island. Next day later, we actually had the family celebration and got to see some family though we haven't seen in a long time. I know it's the worst time actually to do that, but we were actually there together. And what surprised me, Trevor, your cousin Kevin, he came up and actually patted us on the back and chit chatted with us.
Yeah, it was nice to see a lot of my family we haven't seen and some of our family friends that we know from the island and area. And it was great just to see everybody and get to catch up and kind of talk to them. But like Chris said, it's sad that we had to do it. It always seems to be at those types of occasions, and you only get to see all of them together when somebody like that passes away. So it'd be nice if we could do that other times and not have to just rush up there for things like that. But yeah, so it's nice to see some family members, some that we haven't seen for quite a while. So
Yeah. Now, I also took Trevor while we were up there. We were up there for a week, trying to get back sooner, but I took him actually into just the location office of sort of Sault Ste. Marie. It's called Garden River. It
mhm.
is an Indigenous community there. Took him there. It's pretty up. pretty much north of right where they shot the A&W commercial for Canada with the big loonie.
Yes.
It's just above there. And we went to a small little boutique store, and it's called the Family Tree. Got some stuff there. And then also I took Trevor actually out for a quick lunch on the res, and it was called something Arrow.
The Big Arrow.
Yeah. Really good food
Yeah.
though, actually there on the res. It's basically a takeout, but they had a couple of booths there, like small little tables. But yes, again, those what I was saying though, we tried to get back sooner. They wanted additional money over top of what we paid, so we stayed up a little bit longer. We went snowmobiling. We also did snowshoeing
Yes, we
and
got
talked.
to experience the Northern Ontario winter weather. So,
And it's more dry than what Southern Ontario has. You can go out there, nice, nice. Actually, I wore a fleece with a hoodie, and I was nice and warm. So now the thing though is, we did snowmobiling, we did snowshoeing, and we did catch something actually underneath our pictures though that I was taking with Trevor. And if you go underneath any of our Facebook pages, they are posted on our Facebook page. You have to take a close up picture behind the picture of Trevor. Trevor is actually facing me with the snowshoes on. And Trevor, you want to explain to people what we caught?
well, up north there are different energies, and we encountered some of those energies when we go there sometimes. And this time was no difference. We were out snowshoeing and doing some pictures and stuff while we were out there, taking some pictures of the scenery, lovely snow and all the trees in the bush, and taking the trails, walking around on our snowshoes, which were actually the old style snowshoes. I know a lot of people nowadays use the lighter snowshoes, and they like to use the more modern style ones, but we actually had the old style ones, which are made of wood still, and walked around on those out into my family's back property where we have trails that go through the bush, and you can just walk along those. And we were out in the field, and we stopped to do a few pictures out there, out in the back, and we caught what we think is a figure in our picture. And I'm going to mention the name of what we feel it is, and that is Sasquatch. And Sasquatch is a entity that is in the northern areas. Mostly, they're all over the place, but they are mostly known for being in northern Ontario. And they decide to materialize and show themselves on camera to us. I'm sure if we would have looked hard enough and connected a little more, probably would have seen them in person as well, because they were strong enough to be shown up on camera. So what these entities are elemental energies. They are basically cryptid creatures, but they are elementals and they use energies to appear and disappear and protect the area that they are in. So the ones that are on my property up there, they protect me and they are attached to my energy. They know me. So they came and made an appearance to say hi to us when we were up there. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, before the New Year's, I would explain to people to do with actually spirit animals. And one of the spirit animals, though, is Bigfoot, or actually Sab, I think it is, for the indigenous name. And yes, Trevor's spirit animal is Sab slash Bigfoot. And yes, so that's what it is. So yes, welcome back, MP 227. We are talking right now to do with basically of what we did up north on our sort of hiatus. And again, those if you like to be able to get a reading, please type in. I would like to do a reading back for you. And thank you very much, actually, MP. MP 227. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, when we were up there, though, yes, good to see some family members that we haven't seen in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then also we flew back here. As soon as I hit Southern Ontario, my bones started aching. And for Northern Ontario, though, Because it's a different climate, it's different weather out there. It's a lot better. It's a lot more warmer than what Southern Ontario has. Southern Ontario has weather though. If in the cold though, it goes right through your body. Northern Ontario doesn't have that at all.
No, it's
But
a
yeah,
totally different climate up there. Down here, you're close to the lake, right? So you get the circulation of air and moisture. You get the warmer weather from Toronto and stuff. Especially in Toronto, you get a lot warmer temperatures, so the snow always melts and re-snows and melts. You get the slush and everything else. And up there, it's totally different. Like it snows like they had when we arrived there that day, last Thursday, and it just snowed quite a bit. They've had snow for quite a few days since that before we got there, and there was tons of snow there. Like we were saying earlier, the snow banks, and when they plow their driveways and stuff, the banks on the corners were like way above our heads. So they have tons of snow, but what the difference there is that it stays cold. It's got a different atmosphere there. Like the temperature is different. It stays cold. It doesn't melt and freeze and snow and then rain and then melt. It doesn't do that there. It just stays cold. You get that cold all year until spring. So that's why they have things like good syrup season up there where they know when spring comes it gets warm. So that's normal weather.
now if you'd like to be able to get a reading though from me, please type in a question. I would love to do readings for you. While we're chit-chatting, I do have soul coaching cards here with also some tarot cards for you. So again, those type in your question. We'd love to actually hear from
Yeah.
you. If you're on Podbean, don't forget you get to call in absolutely free.
Yes.
So
If you have
let you
our
know.
free app that we use, which is Podbean, we do have a feature on there that allows you to call us live on the air, and we will bring you on the air, and you get to ask your questions in person live on the air to us. Or if you're not comfortable with that, feel free to just type your questions into the chat here on YouTube, and we will gladly help you out there by reading your question and getting to see what the cards have to say for you. And we're open to any type of questions here on our show, of course. We don't limit the type of questions you can ask. You can ask any type from love questions to financial questions, money questions, relationship questions, work questions, or even political. So feel free to ask away, and we'll see what the cards have to say. And welcome to
Yeah.
our first show of 2026. We will be doing regular shows every week on Saturday nights from for this year. So,
Yeah. Now, right when Trevor was actually on Snowmobile, I was the first person that took off. Again, that was on his parents' property, so I trust the parents' property. I know the parents' property too well.
mhm.
But yeah, we did take off. I was the first person, came back. Trevor took off. He got so far in just to start actually of the back field. Trevor had a little incident, so his dad had to go and get him. And you want to start explaining to people what happened?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I just took a corner a little bit too tight. I was trying to turn from the outside to go down the middle of the field, down that trail, and my ski caught the corner of the soft powder snow and got stuck. So I tried to get off the sled and move it myself, but it was still stuck. So I needed a bit of a rescue, but we got it unstuck pretty easy. And we got on our way again and went around. Then Chris got his camera out and did some filming with himself driving around on the field. So you can see some of those videos under your YouTube channel, right?
Which we're already on. So after this, they'll go back, play actually our travel, and again, those what I'm hoping to do though is come to you guys live or even actually on playback shows throughout the year of locations trips though that we have done regional or non or outside the region actually of Ontario. So yes, started last year, but this year I'm going to do a little bit more. I want to get out there and do some more walking. Walking's always good for you.
Yes.
Able to get some of these pounds actually off of my body. Um, but yes, well, since we've got nobody really much, I'm just going to do a close read, and then next, though, we're going to be. I don't know where we're going to be next. After right after this.
Well, I think we're gonna be here for a little bit. We'll do some open readings and see if we have anybody that's in our chat here on YouTube that wants to get a free reading here, and we don't limit any type of questions. So open topics are a go here tonight. Anything you guys want to ask us, we will do that every single show here for you. There's always no limit. But we do have free readings here tonight with our Oracle card decks. And if you have any questions you'd like answered for 2026, we are here to do that for you this year. But after this, we're probably going to head on over to Divine Oracle's Facebook page and do some readings over there too. So,
So we're popping around tonight, actually on different channels,
yep.
uh, trying to get this year kicking again. And if you're listening on Podbean, you get to listen to everything that's going on, actually on even during the breaks.
Yeah, you get
Uh,
free, no limits on what you hear on Podbean. We don't shut you off if we switch platforms because you get to hear us behind the scenes too. So,
Alrighty, so I've just three cards to close off right for this YouTube night. All right, so the first one though of card though it is to do with sort of like a pagan, or also actually a horse. It's got the wings, and it's called Breakthrough. So right now, since it is 2026, the beginning of 2026, what we need to do is breakthrough actually do with all those stuff though that we went through last year, and get rid of it. So breakthrough and celebrate the new year. I see a question popping up. And the next one though that we're looking at though is actually to do with a child. Actually, honest thing, and it is the light. So right now, within the present time, you are the light. You are the shine of everything that's going actually on, and be the light, be the source, so the way everybody can actually be able to notice, so that there is a lot more change. You are the glow with all the year. All right. Our next one though that we are going to be looking at though it is love, and it's sort of like with Alice in Wonderland. So love though, all right, this is with the future those once you be able to show those lights later on down the road though, that you're going to show a lot more love and a lot more care actually all together. And love is always the best way how to be with anything. That could be start now, that could be within the past, that could be within the future. Love is the best way to go. Show the love, show the care, show the support. So, yes. All right. So, we have a question actually in right now. General question. I see.
yes, we do. So, our guest, our lovely guest, MP227, would like to have a general reading and just wondering if there's anything I should know.
All right. So, I'm going to do a two-card reading for you. And we do say welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. I'm shuffling off the cards really much so for you. I'm going to do this soul coaching and also the tarot cards for you. So that way you get two readings for the price of one. I normally do readings for you, private readings, actually online. You can see right beside me. I normally charge $40 just for a 15-minute reading. And the cards are always Oracle cards. So yeah, I am a certified Oracle reader. And I do encourage you to check that out. All right, that's weird. I just heard a noise. I don't know if you heard it, Trevor.
No.
Okay, I heard something push against the wall.
Okay.
It was an energy, the pushing against the wall, and it was quite loud.
We get that once in a
So,
while here. We do have active spirits in our place, so it could have been a walkthrough. So, and by walkthrough, I mean
that's,
spirits that just pass through from time to time. So,
yeah. All right, so MP, what we're looking at though is to do with actually in the past. So it's kind of a child looking actually at the fireworks. So, and that was a passion though. He always had the passion actually to sit back and and listen and watch everything all together. And the passion though was always good there for you. So anything though that in the past though that you always did though, you always had the passion. And something kind of happened with that, but you need that passion back though that you had actually in the past. Bring that passion back, bring a lot more joy all together for yourself. The next one is to do with gratitude. All right, and gratitude though is right now going actually on. So gratitude is you're always being thankful for having loved ones around you. You're always showing that thank you motion, even if you don't say it. You're always showing that thank you. You're glad that people actually are showing respect to you and that you're showing respect actually to everybody else. So that's actually gratitude right now. What we're looking at actually at in the future though, all right, we've got the children here sort of playing tea all together, and this is playfulness, all right? So in the future, you're going to show a little more playfulness. You're going to show a little bit more caring. You're going to be able to get out there. It could be with probably within in the year. You're going to be able to get out there and show actually a lot more gratitude, a little bit more actually playfulness. You're going to be able to actually do a little bit more celebration. Things are going hard right now for you. It is beginning of the year. It's always debt season, especially with credit cards, but don't worry about that. Look actually from the more positive energy altogether. Now, I'm just going to use actually the tarot cards for you and see what's going actually on with those. So, yeah. All right, so the soul coaching cards is just did. Now, a good friend of mine, though, she's been actually in my podcast in the past, though. She's, don't worry about the first card. Okay. So the way I look at the cards, though, are sort of like the oracle cards. These are tarot cards. The first card that I'm looking at, I don't have the proper glasses on though. It's an upside down. It is actually Ace of Wands, all right, and it's an upside down. So you got the magic hat upside down, okay? And like whenever there's always a magic show, we're always looking for the magician to always be able to do a little bit more magic, all right? But right now, though, there's not that much going actually on. I don't know what's going actually on for that, but I'm going to take a better look altogether with the next card. The next one, though, is the world, all right? And usually the world, though, is actually on the gentleman's shoulders. So the world's not actually on your shoulders, and that's good, though, especially right now, all right? I know the last bit, though, I was saying, though, that there was some heaviness actually on you, all right? And that seems like the world, but right now, those you're trying not to have that world actually on you. You're trying to get that world actually off you, all right? So that you don't have that heaviness pulling you down altogether. Like, yeah, you have the credit cards, but the thing, though, is you don't want that to be always pulling you down altogether, and that's the world.
Mm.
Last one though that we're looking at though, all right, it's a self-hater, and it is actually sorry, self-hated. I do apologize on that. It's of I'll let you know for the picture though. It's actually of a gentleman looking actually at a picture. And what you need to do though is what it's trying to say though is you need to actually look at yourself. All right, step away spiritly and look actually at yourself and see what's going actually on. All right, so that way you can actually direct yourself better within the road and be able to go forward. All right, so it's basically self-reflect. Okay, self-reflect actually at yourself, and that way it's going to help you a little bit better with all together. Now that card I did throw away, it's two coins, right? And that's usually balance. So balance is what you need to be able to have. And that's the card that I threw away though. But the two coins, so it's actually balance.
Yes.
So yeah.
All right. Well, there you go, MP227. Thank you so much for sending in your general questions. And we hope that resonated with you and made a little bit of sense to you and gave you some guidance for 2026. And thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. So we are going to be heading over to not YouTube, over to Facebook, and that's going to be underneath to find. So again, those, if you're listening on the Podbean, congratulations. You get to listen to actually all the little breaks so that we are doing. Um, I do look forward to seeing you guys next week
Yeah.
here, Saturday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, don't forget, tell your friends, tell your family, share it with your coworkers, anybody you know that might be interested in our show. We do live readings on YouTube right here using oracle cards and tarot cards and whatever decks we have available. We have many years' experience in the paranormal as well as with spiritual work and psychic work. So, if you're interested in asking us any type of questions in our field, feel free to come and join us on Divine Oracle Podcast. And when we get it back working, hauntinglivepodcast.com is our actual official website. You can check out all of our shows under hauntinglivepodcast.com. And we have tons of new episodes up there for you. We've been posting all last year. This year's going to be a little bit different. We're changing our format just a little bit for this year. So look forward to those changes coming very soon for 2026. But thank you everybody for tuning in so much here on our channel. And like I said, feel free to spread our name around. We look forward to seeing you and your friends here every Saturday night in 2026 doing free Oracle card and tarot card readings for you on YouTube and also on Facebook.
And who knows, Trevor might be able to do some tarot readings for you.
Yes, you may get a surprise once or twice during the year. I may pick up a deck myself and see what I pick up on the cards. You never know, so let's see what happens there. But have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll be now heading over to our Facebook page under Divine Oracle Podcast if you wish to follow us over there. We'll see you there. Yes, and welcome everybody. We are live streaming under Facebook, and welcome to our first show on Facebook for 2026. How are you all doing? And welcome to Chris as well. He's here as well tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, your host here, actually, of Divine Oracle Podcast is actually here. I do say thanks very much to Trevor, actually, for being here tonight. A lot has happened in this short time of 2026 with us. If you guys did miss, actually, to do with our Podbean beginning and underneath YouTube, we'll sort of recap with you guys. Nice, short, and sweet.
Mhm.
And also, don't forget though that you get to type in your questions tonight here, actually underneath Facebook. I can do actually readings for you. I'm doing soul coaching cards and also divine oracle cards. Well, anyway, so Trevor actually had a really rough 20 end of 2025. His account for Haunted Line Podcast did get hacked. And we do encourage you guys always to actually always change your passcodes, not only once, but change them quite often so that you don't get hacked at all. Um, People are always doing hacking, not only actually on these Facebook or YouTube, also underneath Instagram and all that. So yeah, so that happened, and then shortly after Christmas, Trevor's aunt passed away up in the Sault Ste. Marie area, and we had to fly all the way up there. So if you guys actually go underneath YouTube and underneath Divine, actually underneath YouTube, you guys can be able to catch some of the stuff though that we went through.
Yes,
Even though we always fly Porter. Go ahead, Trevor.
we did have quite an interesting journey. We were supposed to fly out last Thursday as man passed away before that under short notice, and we had to fly away and get everything booked for the flight so we could make it up there in time for the Saturday celebration. And of course, with the weather in Northern Ontario, it's so unpredictable this time of year. It was very bad weather up there in Sault Ste. Marie where we had to go, and we got our flight booked and everything okay. But when we arrived at the airport, it was cancelled when we got there. So no
Yeah.
notice beforehand. Nobody told us anything until we got to the counter for check-in, and that's when the staff told us that our flight had been indeed cancelled that day. So we had to end up staying overnight in Toronto, waiting to get rebooked on Friday's flight. And then we were able to make it out on that flight, but we were apparently the only one of two flights that went out to Northern Ontario that day. And all of Sault Ste. Marie for about a week or so, I think only about one flight actually got out of the Sault airport. It was so bad for several days up there. So we were lucky to get our flight into the Sault that day. So, but
Yeah.
we made it
So
okay.
Sue, yeah. So what also happened though is people flying out in the Thunder Bay, their flight was delayed approximately 2 hours or even longer. The weather up in southern, sorry, not southern, the weather up in northern Ontario was quite bad.
Yes.
Again, those we were able to get in with no problem. We spent the night in Toronto, we did go to O'Grady's on Church Street. We walked in, caught the ending actually of a drag show. Uh, we had our lunch, sort of dinner there all together,
Yeah,
and yeah, it was really good. Um, got to chat to with the actual owner of O'Grady's. Really awesome guy, and yeah, good food there and great fellowship altogether. So I'm again though here tonight to offer you guys some free readings, but we're gonna sort of let you know what actually took place up north.
mm,
Again, let's check out my videos. Trevor's in them though also, and Trevor can actually copy them, put them actually underneath his page if he wants to. But up north though, we actually had a great time, the two of us together. Um,
yeah. We
we had the
spent about
families
a
up.
week up there. It was a nice break to get away from South Ontario and go up north for a change in winter. We don't often get our chance to do that, so it was for a sad occasion, but we did get to see family that we haven't seen for a while, enjoy some of the activities you can do in Northern Ontario in winter, such as snowshoeing. And we did that, and we used the original wooden snowshoes and not the newer modern ones. So we got to use the old style ones and walk around the trails and my family's property and just go into the bush for a while. That was really fun. So,
Yeah. All right, and then we also did snowmobiling all together, and snowmobiling was pretty fun up there. Again, on the property. Trevor went out, I went out, had a great time all together. And underneath here, underneath Facebook, I did post a picture of what we captured while we were snowshoeing. It's in one of the pictures, so you'll see Trevor kind of turning actually with snowshoes on. If you zoom into the one picture, actually on the right-hand side, zoom in, there's a birch tree there, and you
mhm,
can see exactly it's a figure silhouette. It has a full face though. You can actually see what we caught
yeah.
actually in the picture. It is a spirit. Us indigenous though, we're not scared of it. A lot of people say it's not real because a lot of people are not raised the proper way. But it's one of Trevor's spirit animals, so that actually was watching us directly, which was pretty cool.
Yes, we encountered this, and we encounter the energy up there quite often because they do watch over me on my property when I'm up there, and they made an appearance this time as well in winter to say hello. So that was quite nice to see them in a picture and be able to capture the energy that's up there. And for those that follow us that know what we're into with spiritual energies and cryptids, this was Sasquatch energy, and this was a photo of a Sasquatch spirit that we did capture that was manifesting and was manifested enough to show itself on camera to us. We did not see it personally when we were there with our own eyes, but I'm sure if we would have hung around there for a while, it probably would have made itself known to us, as it was strong enough to be picked up by on camera. So they showed themselves enough to be seen on camera to say hello to us. So that was quite nice of them to do. So, as I do have a connection to them there on my property. So,
Yeah. Yeah, those your spirit animal, which is pretty cool.
mhm.
And that's for the indigenous side. Now also those we went up to Garden River. Garden River is just pretty much touching Sault Ste. Marie, but it's the indigenous res. Went up there, went up to a shop. I'm right now trying to make actually moccasins for myself. And also we went on to Big Arrow Restaurant. A great
Yep.
location to actually have food. Food there is good quality. It's worth it altogether. Um, if you're in the summertime, you could eat on the outside, but during the winter, they have small little booths there, like little tables, and yeah, it's big enough, but they should actually have a little bit more tables in there.
Yeah, it was
And then
nice.
on the way back, go ahead.
It was nice, but it was more of a takeout location, so I guess people generally use that for takeout more. It wasn't a sit
Yeah,
down restaurant, but great food. I really enjoyed what I had. I just had a burger and that was it. So it was a really great burger, and I would definitely go back there again. So,
yeah. Now, also though, is on the way back to St. Joseph Island, right where the War of 1812 started. we stopped off with a big nickel, and if you
Mm,
watched years ago
big
in
loony.
Canada, yeah, sorry, the Linny, sorry, yeah, the big nickel's is wrong location.
Yeah.
Uh,
Close
but
to
yes,
there, but you
no,
gotta drive a bit.
yeah, yeah. Anyway, so Trevor stopped there, got some pictures, and then we drove to the island and got to see family up there that we haven't seen in a long time, and yeah, so that was
Yeah.
pretty good though.
Yeah.
But then also we flew back. I'm kind of happy to be back, but I'm kind of not though because up there though it's a dry, cool, sorry, a dry cold up there. Down here in Southern Ontario, it's too wet. It goes
Yeah.
through your body up there. It doesn't go through the body.
Yeah, once you're up there, it's cold, but it stays cold. It doesn't do what it does down here and melt, freeze, get slushy, rain, snow again, freeze up again. It changes here too much, and up there it's totally different. It just stays cold all year, and you get used to it. So you can go outside, you can do things. Yes, there's a lot of snow for a longer time, but also the climate's a lot better, and it's just easier to do things when you know it's just going to stay that way for so many months, rather than not knowing what you get down here. So,
Yeah. All right, so I'll sort of let you know I've been shuffling the tarot cards. I have drawn three cards. The first card though is the Eight of Cups, and that's to do with travel. So travel, which will be happening this year with a lot of you guys all together. And with this though, you're gonna be saying goodbye to loved ones, and that's what we just recently did though. This year we did say goodbye to a loved one. Um, Altogether, and there's travel. So travel came up, and that's the Eight of Cups, though. All right. Our next one, though, that we're looking at, though, and this is the Youth of Wands. So Youth of Wands, though, is basically though it's. I'll show you this way, though. It's a picture to do with a gentleman, though, that is fixing up some satellites actually on stage, but upside down though it's the opposite though, and that basically means stop being the spotlight throughout 2026. Stop being the spotlight and start focusing actually on your spiritual journey. Right. Our last one though, it's to do with Seven of Wands, and it's usually upside down though. It's like you can see though the gentleman there with the umbrella, and also to do with actually trying to get that umbrella closed, but with an upside down. That's basically it's going to mean to do with the Seven of Wands. Those. Don't worry. You're not gonna have protection though throughout the whole year. It's basically those things are going to happen for you. Things are going to happen in certain ways. You might not like it, but the thing though is we always have to take caution within the year ahead. And that's what that card is going to mean though for 2026 for you within the tarot cards. So yeah. I do offer readings, so if you want to be able to check out through Haunting Live podcast through the website, you can listen to Trevor's podcast there and our podcast here of Divine Oracle Podcast also. We also have a merch store actually on there
that we do.
with also vendor shows so that I will be at with my co-host Gillian. We've already got two booked up for one for February and one for March. So
Yes, come on
if you
out and
want to,
support us there. So,
yeah. You want to let people know about our merch store.
yes, we have a merch store on our website, which is hauntinglivepodcast.com. We sell a lot of handmade materials and items on there that we made ourselves. And a lot of it is also from our supplier, which we have things like you need for the paranormal spiritual community if you're into things like smudging. Great place to get your sage and supplies like that directly from people that are involved in the paranormal and know how to use it, know what to do with it, and know what you need for doing it. So you can get them directly from somebody that's involved in the paranormal field and share them with your friends and give them away as gifts or use them yourselves to keep your place cleansed and that positive energy in your area, in your space. We sell lots of different types on our site. We have everything from sage to cedar to different crystals also for protection, stuff like that. We sell oils as well and different things you need in the spiritual community. So go check us out. We're under hauntinglivepodcast.com. And of course, if you're local, we do offer local drop off shipping. So we will drop it off to you if you're within our local Southern Ontario area. We will happily drop that off so you don't have to pay shipping to your location. So,
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to be using soul coaching cards for you guys. We're going to make this one kind of short though underneath YouTube. Sorry, not YouTube, underneath Facebook. I do apologize. We were just actually on YouTube. We
yes.
are always live actually underneath Facebook and also YouTube. Always underneath Podbean. Podbean, you get to call in for free, absolutely free,
Yep.
and we do encourage you guys actually to do that.
Yes,
So
hello,
the first
Jay
card though.
Hatter. Just joined us on Haunting Live Podbean. Thank you for joining us, Jay Hatter. How are you?
Yeah. So you do get to call in for free if you want a reading done. I do actually tarot cards and also I'm doing actually soul coaching cards tonight. The first card though that we have though it is opening. It's sort of like a flower there, and within the past though you were more open to a lot of stuff that's within the past years. You were more open actually. Um, and you were blooming, so like a flower always blooms, and that's always good though. Within the past, that's with your spiritual community also. Now, within the present though, you've got the grace. You got the grace all around you. You got the happiness. You've got the soul going with you. Grace though is always great though. The reason why is because you're always happy. You're always thankful. It's not from what people are doing, which is negative. It's always people what people are doing for you for the positive, and that's always great. So grace is good. Within the future, though, and this is from YouTube also, is love. It's sort of like Alice in Wonderland. Actually, love though is going to be happening with you later on down the road. Love is great, and it does happen in different ways. That could be a relationship. That could do with actually spiritual or even from people. Love, 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 love. And that's also to do with actually with Rump or else Ronald McDonald or even to do with the dumb idiot actually in the States. A lot of people are switching actually sides. Love has to happen. It's the way things go on within the right direction. There's a lot of hate out there, but love though we need to bring back. So yeah. So that's your cards there for you. Again, those who would like to be able to get a reading, if you are actually on Podbean, feel free to type in or even call in. That way you can actually get some readings for you.
Yes, we are live streaming right now for those just listening. We are doing free card readings for you, like we are going to be doing every single Saturday night that we can this year in 2026. We're scheduled to do them at 8 o'clock Eastern time zone here where we are, and we'll be bringing you live card readings for free, and you can ask any type of questions you like. We do not limit the type of questions that you can ask. So you can ask anything from love questions to relationship to work questions to financial questions, even political questions. We will get to all those type of questions. And if you're on our Podbean app, feel free to type those into our Podbean. Or Podbean also allows you to call in. You can hit that call in button and ask your questions live on the air here with us, and we will get talking to you one on one. Otherwise, you can look for us under our Facebook page, which we are streaming live right now. If you want to see us in person, see what we look like, and see your cards, what we get for you, join us over on our live stream podcast show under Divine Oracle Podcast. That's Divine Oracle Podcast under Facebook, and just find our live link right there under our profile and join us live. And you can type your questions in there too and actually see us doing our live stream. So thank you so much. We
Yeah.
do have a question under our Haunting Live Podbean from Jay Hatter. And she has a political question, and that is awesome. She's asking, I'll assume she, but Jay Hatter is asking, what happens to us after Trump? So we have
Okay.
a
All
question
right.
about post Trump.
All right. All right. Cool. 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 I love it. I
Yeah,
love it.
we will
All right.
gladly answer that since our location is Canada.
Yeah. 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 All right. So basically, those what's going to happen though is afterwards. It's going to take approximately 2 to 3 presidents afterwards to fix up everything that he has completely done, which is the wrong stuff altogether. And it's a good question though, because I started thinking about it yesterday and today. It's been hitting me. Um, Now, for myself, though, I'm not really a church person at all. I know a lot of people who are church people. But if you look at the book of Revelation, it deals with Antichrist. Okay? Antichrist is supposed to be coming, and that's before the comings actually to do with what people say Lord and Savior or Jesus or whatever. So right now, Trump, though, is the Antichrist. He's the one that's causing all the trouble within the world. If you literally look actually at scripture and then look at what Trump is doing, he is antichrist. So it's going to take quite a bit of precedence actually afterwards to get everything going the right way.
It
Yeah,
will,
I know
but
The
we will
Simpsons
definitely
actually.
take a look and see what the cards have to say for the question as well here. So,
Yeah, I know The Simpsons were saying the women president's supposed to be happening, and that is still going to happen
mhm.
altogether. A women president will be taking place actually within the states, but it's going to be turmoil. And the good news though is Kamala is going to be running again. I predict though that the governor of California is also going to be running again. Okay, like not running again, but running for president of the United States. But I'm going to see what the tarot cards have to say altogether. Um, so the first one though that we're looking at though is the Hermit. All right. It's an upside down one, and so basically, though, it's to do with space, to do with actually everything else. Um, it's it's of outer space. It's to do with a space shuttle looking down on Earth. All right, and the Hermit, though, it's basically representing though that yeah, everything is happening. Things are going to happen afterwards, though. The states are going to be able to get up before Russia and China up in space. We're going to be looking down actually what he has created. And this is the first one though that we're looking at though, but it is an upside down one. Our next one though is it is again an upside down one though. It's to do with the death card. Now most people think the death card though is to do with negativity. But the death card though, since it is upside down, all right, things are gonna happen for a long term. Things are gonna be happening for change down the road. Okay? And those a lot of people think death cards are negative, but it's not though.
Mhm.
This is going to be long term. It's going to take a long time. Is what I mean before things are starting to happen. Right? It's not going to be fast. It's going to be quite a while. Now the last one though I have though is a face up, and it's coin of two. All right. Now the coin of two though actually does represent to do with actually once everything is going to be changed after the while, things are going to be more relaxed. People are going to be able to breathe a little bit better. Things are going to calm down. There's going to be less hate altogether. And that's always good, though. So, coin of two is basically to do with relaxing. It's going to be with change. You're going to be able to breathe better. And it is face up. So, that's the card there. Yeah. All right. So, that's to do with your questions altogether. And it's a good question. I do say thank you very much for asking that.
Yes, thank you, Jay Hatcher, for joining us here under Haunting Live. Excellent question. I know things are in turmoil all over, so hopefully that's a great question. Though, what happens after? We know he's not long for the world, and hopefully things will change shortly so that we can all at least breathe a little easier and have some normalcy in everything, not just politics. So thank you so much for your question, and thank you for finding us here underneath our Podbean app. And thank you for joining us on our podcast show. And we're going to be here every single Saturday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. If you have any questions, feel free to get them ready for next week. We will be here again next week on our Podbean, YouTube, and our Facebook platforms doing our live stream show. So thank you for joining us. And with that, we will close the show up here for tonight. But I'd like to thank everybody for joining us, and don't forget to check out our podcast, which is under Podbean. We have edited shows that you can listen to if you're interested in spiritual community and listening to different stories that people go through in the spiritual world, from psychics to ghost stories to different types of entertainment. And we interview on Haunting Live. We interview first-person encounters and get their stories firsthand and what experiences they've went through. So if you're interested in that sort of topic, feel free to check out Haunting Live Podcast underneath Podbean, and also Divine Oracle Podcast as well under Divine Oracle Podcast under Podbean. Also
Yeah.
our
And
official
then,
website too. So
yeah. And underneath Divine, Gillian and I, we do actually a lot more so coaching for you guys all together. We're going to be coming back hopefully shortly. Actually bringing the shows. We also do interview once per month people within the spiritual community throughout North America.
yeah.
And that's actually with Indigenous and non-Indigenous teachings for you.
Yes. So with that, have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you for joining us here underneath our Facebook and Podbean. And we were also broadcasting tonight under our YouTube channel, Divine Oracle Podcast, as well. So feel free to follow us and subscribe to our channels and help support us. And tune in next week. We'll be right back here for our next show next Saturday. So spread the word, let your friends know, let your family know, and we'll be back here next week to see you. So have a great rest of your weekend, everybody.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Haunting Live Podcast.
Hi, I'm Trevor, host of Haunting Live. Thank you so much for taking time to listen to our podcast. Brand new content posted every single Monday at 8:30 a.m. Please follow us here on the Podbean app for more great content, and we look forward to providing you some new shows.
Haunting Live Podcast.
Have you ever wanted a spiritual reading? Why not reach out to Brother Chris through the Divine Oracle podcast page? He's a certified Oracle reader and has been doing readings for so many years, reaching people with their higher self and the spirit side, with angels, ancestors, and the animals. Why not reach out to Brother Chris? Check him out at hauntedlivepodcast.com.